Welcome to our next video cast, and I want to say again, thank you so much for being a part of our LEAD initiative. Today we're talking about what I call earning your money as a leader, earning your keep. It's really about credibility. There are 3 points of leadership or points in our leadership where we really earn our credibility. Point number 1 is points of vision. Points of vision. People will follow a leader who has a compelling vision. When you have a real compelling, intriguing vision, it builds credibility for you as a leader. When you're able to see 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road and make those decisions which really build long-term health. What really hurts your credibility is when it seems like everything's aimless, like there's a lot of aimlessness in your leadership or the direction of the organization or the department or whatever that you lead. You can be really good at day-to-day management, taking care of all of the administrative details, but if you can't answer those big questions like where are we going, why are we going there, that's when you really lose credibility as a leader. So during those points of vision, being able to clearly articulate a compelling vision really builds credibility as a leader. A second point where you earn your money as a leader is during points of transition. Points of transition. I've heard it said before that the best leaders are able to really think through all the unintended consequences of a transition. Change is inevitable. Change is necessary for an organization to be healthy, to be strong, especially a church. But during those times of change, you can really lose credibility when you can't answer the questions. For example, in church leadership, this change, how's it going to affect children? How's it going to affect our youth ministry, student ministry? How's it going to affect our senior adults? What does this mean for families? You know, all those details. When you can't answer those questions, who meets where? What time do they meet? Why are they meeting at that time? Being able to answer all of those questions really builds credibility. It really shows that you've prayed through, thought through that decision in a church context. In an organizational context, a different type of organization, those points of transition are still equally as key. It's imperative that you try to take away as many ambiguities during transition time that you can. And when you can answer all of the questions, or almost all of them, you really can't answer every single question that's ever asked. There's always one that comes up you didn't think about. But when you take the time to really think through every one of the big questions that are going to be answered, and you have a clear answer that has obvious justification to it, now you build credibility as a leader. Those points of transition, how do you lead through change? That really builds your credibility. But the third point where you earn your money as a leader is during points of compassion. Points of compassion. You can be a visionary leader and you can lead well through change, but if you do all of that in a way that comes off as selfish, self-serving, acting like you don't care about people, then that harms your relational credibility. And the relational credibility in a workplace is equally as important, quite possibly, I would argue at times even more important than your competency or your professional credibility. So take the time as a leader to send a little handwritten note to one of your employees or one of those under your leadership who just lost a loved one. Rejoice with those around you when their kids do well or when they do something very successful around the workplace. Show yourself to be a leader that really cares about people, and when you do that, you'll earn credibility. And so where do you earn your money as a leader? During points of vision, points of transition, and points of compassion. If you'll really lead well through those 3 points, those 3 key points, your credibility as a leader will really, really soar. And so I pray that you will be the leader that God's called you to be, that your credibility will be there so that you can influence people for the gospel and for that which is right.